Fallen Kingdom. This movie has been out for about a month now, so I'm just going to jump right into spoilers. This is going to be a spoiler review. So, if you have not yet seen the movie and want to stay spoiler free, please turn this off now. So here's the problem with these Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies. This has been said many other times, and I've seen other reviewers talk about it. But the problem is that when these sequels are done, they are done in a way that offers nothing new to the original story. The first Jurassic Park came out in the early 90s. This was revolutionary for the movie industry. Technology was brand new, and we were able to see dinosaurs on the big screen in a way that looked so real. I'll never forget one of the first scenes in Jurassic Park when they first get there and they see a dinosaur up close for the first time. And there's this moment of awe. And unfortunately, this moment can never be recreated within these movies. As we saw for these sequels for Jurassic Park and then Jurassic World, it's just the same story over and over again. Someone believes that they have finally been able to open this park, and once again, they're disappointed. And the dinosaurs wind up eating so many people. So right off the bat, I just want to say I appreciate that the Fallen Kingdom does it different. They do not run into the same storyline that the previous movies have seen, but this one explores new territory that this universe hasn't yet seen. Unfortunately, besides the premise, that really is all the movie has done for me. The movie starts off with this scene on Jurassic World, the island, and this person is eaten up by the sea dinosaur, and we're left to be terrified. It was an amazing scene to remind us how dangerous these creatures are. And then it jumps to Jeff Goldblum's scene, which I just want to say really quick, I am so disappointed in this trailer for letting on that he was in this movie way more than he actually was. He was in this movie for a solid minute tops, I'd say, and I can't imagine what his paycheck was despite that. His character is reminding us that these are dangerous creatures and they will be the end to our civilization. And then the third scene is Bryce Dallas Howard explaining that somehow these dinosaurs actually have rights. Now, I'm all for animal rights, and I do not have a problem fitting that into this movie because it would make sense that there are characters out there in this universe that would be advocating for them. The moral of this story seems to be that the cost of human life is worth their rights. Jumping to one of the final scenes of the movie, that is one of the most infuriating things I've ever seen. When this little girl pushes this button to release all the dinosaurs out into the world. Now, there are a couple of different things I want to make note of in this scene. First off, I believe this takes away any character development that we've seen throughout this movie. Now, I love Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. I believe they have great chemistry together, and I love watching them on screen. They're so much fun. But their characters in this movie clearly have no development. And the 1 ounce of development that might have happened is when she realized, you know what, maybe we should just let these dinosaurs die before they destroy humanity. And she decides not to push that button. But then, this little girl goes back on that and says, you know what, they do deserve to live, even if that cost us our lives. And everyone was just okay with it. Dinosaurs are now in our world. And then that allows Jeff Goldblum to have the very obvious line that we are now the Fallen Kingdom. But the other interesting thing about this scene is it sets it up for a very interesting sequel. This movie really feels kind of like the Planet of the Apes prequels that we've been seeing. At the end of the first Planet of the Apes, we see the monkeys now living within our society, assuming the fact that they're about to take over the whole entire planet. So while I hated the fact that it was animal rights that somehow gave these characters a reason to keep the dinosaurs alive, I actually am really excited to see where this goes and how this next movie is set up. Because again, I think we're done with the theme park. I think we're over this idea that maybe this will work. And now we're moving on to this universe where dinosaurs and humans coexist, and we know it's not going to go well. And I can't wait to see how it fails. Looking at this movie as a whole, I thought it was fun. It was exactly what I expected. I expected a movie about dinosaurs. And so the fact that I got a plot that wasn't just ripped from the original Jurassic Park, I was absolutely fine with that. But like I said before, the problem I have is the execution of this film. It was really just a sloppy script. There are so many things that I found wrong with this movie. If you have not seen Incredibles 2, please just skip this video about 1 minute because I'm going to discuss a plot that happens in there. And if you're still with me, and you have not yet figured out that if there are 2 billionaires that are supposedly the good guys hiring other good guys for a mission, one of them is probably evil. And I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing that from the very first scene that he was in, I knew this billionaire was bad and evil. But I do think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it would have been more of a surprise. We've seen this cliche so often in The Incredibles 2, the first Incredibles, Monsters, Inc., Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. I know I'm mostly just naming Disney Pixar movies, but every movie has done this already. Is that bad? I don't know. But for me, I just think I would have rather been surprised about it. Also, another thing, how did he just construct all this to happen in the basement of someone else's mansion. I think people were a little suspicious when all this construction crew was coming in and building cages in the secret laboratory, and yet somehow they forgot to make sure the dumbwaiter does not go down here. Like this laboratory that requires all these passcodes to get into, and this little girl just somehow finds the dumbwaiter that they forgot to disconnect from the laboratory. Also, I know this is not an original thought, but I've seen it everywhere, and it did bug me so much. But why were the prices of dinosaurs so low? That mixed with just some terrible dialogue. The fact when this hunter realizes what's going on, he comes into this auction, sees all the dinosaurs have escaped, and he shouts, "Where is my bonus?" as if that is when he's about to receive it. And I can actually appreciate him leaving the cage open when he goes to steal his tooth, because that's just classic Jurassic Park. And right there, that is the thing you have to think about going into these movies. Are you looking for a complex narrative of dinosaurs living among us and how we would handle that? Or do you just want to see dinosaurs in action? Because if you're looking for dinosaurs in action, this is a great movie. It really is. It's so much fun. The set pieces are amazing. The scenes in the mansion with this dinosaur chasing them around in the dark is beautiful, and it was so enjoyable to watch. But then there's these moments when the characters start talking and the dialogue is terrible. It takes me out of the movie personally. And so for me, I kind of wish they would have committed one way, because if they would have gone all the way with cheesy dialogue, it can be kind of fun in that way. But I don't think that was their intention here. I think their intention was to try to make a serious movie and have us think about these issues. But the issues didn't really matter to me because, once again, I don't really care about dinosaur rights if that means they're going to wipe out the whole population. The only other thing I want to say that I loved about this movie is the fact that they actually explore the science behind cloning the dinosaurs. The twist of this little girl becoming a clone was something that I've been waiting for since I saw the first Jurassic Park. It only makes sense for this universe to follow down that trail, and I'm glad they finally did it. This opens up so many more options for future movies and questions regarding her rights as a human being, or if she even is a human. So that being said, I enjoyed this movie. I really did. And the amount of critiques I have are coming from strictly a dialogue standpoint and a script standpoint. I think you could have took the whole premise of this movie and changed the way the characters go about it. It could have been better. What I hope this next Jurassic World movie does is not put the good guys in charge of letting the dinosaurs out. Because I struggle with that. If the dinosaurs would have been released at the end of this movie in some other way, that would have been very intense to see for the next movie. But they present it in a way where this is a good thing, and the characters wanted this to happen. And it honestly, it makes me dislike Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt in this movie. In the next movie, whoever dies on Earth, the blood is on their hands now. It's gonna be pretty hard to side with them. We already saw how there was no consequence for them being responsible for the first movie, and so I'm worried that they're not gonna take any of the blame again in the next one. With that aside, I do love dinosaurs. I love this franchise no matter how cheesy these movies are, and I'm gonna keep watching them. So tell me your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Did you dislike it? Was it too cheesy, too much? Or will you just go see any dinosaur movie? Comment below, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know your thoughts.